Hello once again and welcome back. I'm Jay Jones, the founder of the Divorce and Custody Success Training Program, and this is a module on protecting your stuff. We talked about getting your mind right and protecting yourself, protecting your kids if you got them. This is about protecting the physical stuff, making sure that you get what you should get when you're separating if you're dealing with a divorce. Now, if this deals with a custody case or just a breakup kind of thing, there's good chances it does not apply to you. But there's a caveat here. There are some states that still have what's called common law marriage. That means that through some actions you've taken, even though you didn't physically get married, you have become married. But it doesn't just happen because you live together or because you've had a kiddo. The laws differ state by state. If someone's telling you that you're common law married, hit the pause button, okay? You need to stop and go talk to a legal professional like right now, okay? It's going to be something that you need to sit down with and figure out the laws in your state with someone who knows the laws in your state. If you get a little lost with that, reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction. Now, if you are common law married, or if you're actually married, you're going to have to figure out how to divide up your stuff. If you're not, it's just a breakup. But let's say that you're in a place where, hey, look, we're going to have to divvy up everything. We're going to start this with a preface again. This is a little unusual. Normally I talk to people, it's one-on-one, another situation. Each case is driven by the state law and by their case-specific info. I don't have all that, just chatting with you right here. But the info I'm going to give you should be general enough to get you started so that when you do understand a little bit more about the laws in your state and learn more about your specific circumstances, you're going to be ahead of the game. One of the things I want you to do to make sure you're ahead of the game is to get your mind right, not a shock, right? You know I was going to say it. Look, people come into these cases and everybody wants to make sure they get what they deserve. That's good. But also, you may run into a situation where somebody wants their pound of flesh or somebody is certain they are not going to give a dime. I understand that, but I want you to think about something. What does that have to do with getting to your happier place in life? I want to make sure that you have all the resources you need once you get to that, okay? But what is fighting over a physical object necessarily going to mean to you moving on in your life, to getting what you want? If that object is that important, okay, that's good. Let's have the fight. But just decide what you want to focus on. Because I've seen so many people get caught up really in the weeds, fighting over something that at the end of the day really isn't that important, and they spend a lot of money on it. Don't do that. You read a little thing in the book about when people buy their lawyers boats fighting over stuff. Don't buy your lawyer a boat. You may want a boat, all right? Keep your mind right and focus on what's important. Make sure that you get what you need, but don't fight over things you don't have to fight over. Now, that being said, how do you protect your stuff? The thing I would recommend, I've told so many people to do, is use your phone. Grab your phone and record everything that you own. Just walk around your house, put the video function on, and take a video of what you see. It's a video inventory, a visual inventory of what you own. If you own a couple of items, couple of places, go to those places, record them too. That way, if something goes missing or something switched out on you, happened with a very famous painting and a very famous divorce where they were fighting over the painting and it turned out to be a fake at the end. Look, don't let that be you. Make sure that you've got a good record of everything that you own and where it was when you were going through your separation. You can do that just using your phone. It's that simple, okay? After you've done that, you want to make sure you've got the documentation. You know, I've always got mine, got my little handy dandy planner in my notes. You want to take handy dandy planner of your own and notes and film it, right? Just flip right through it. Now you've got a visual record of everything you need. Taxes, loans, credit cards, mortgage, did you start a business together? Pay stubs. All that stuff is stuff that you need to make sure you've got copies of. And if you get a visual record of that, even if you can't just look through it right away, it's just a quick snap, you're going to be able to go back and review that. Furthermore, you can send that to your attorney or legal professional if you get into the weeds and you have to hire someone, and they can review that stuff very quickly for you. Lastly, if you're going through a division, a lot of times this stuff gets left behind. You don't have to go to your ex who you might be fighting with, say, hey, I need XYZ document. You've already got it. You're covered. Use your phone to keep a good documentation of what you need to protect yourself, right? Once you've got that documentation, I want you to use either the storage that you received when you joined this program, upload it, or go get yourself a USB drive, put it on there, and upload it to Google Drive. Whatever you do, back it up. Store it somewhere, okay? because it's Murphy's Law. Something will go sideways. You don't want to lose the documentation that you have, okay? The first step that you can take to protect yourself is to make sure that you've got all the documentation that you need. The reason you're doing that is when you go through a property division, you are going to be required to say, this is my stuff, this is your stuff, and this is our stuff. Here's things we acquired before the marriage, this was after, here's all the stuff. In Colorado, you have to fill out a document to do that. You got to do that everywhere, okay? The reason you're doing that is to kind of set the table so we understand, what are we dividing up? What are we dealing with? This way, you've got all your information so you know that. Now, once you've got everything on the table, this is where the horse trading begins. Yes, there's going to be laws that apply, but you should know this. This is a highly negotiable area. If you can work out a deal, either one-on-one or with the help of a mediator, with the person you're breaking up with, splitting the stuff up with, and that's a fair deal and everybody's happy with it, there's a very high probability that the court is going to say, that's great, move on, I'm happy with it. No problems. So you should expect that if you reach an agreement that is fair, the court's going to support you in doing that. In fact, the court's going to encourage you to do that. Most states are going to require you to go to something like a third-party mediation so that you can reach a resolution in these cases. In fact, most of these cases don't even go to a trial. They're often resolved at mediation. But you need to be prepared to go to mediation by having all the documentation that you need. This is something that can get a little confusing. This is an area where we should talk about something not that many people know about, which is called unbundled services. You're familiar with the idea of retaining an attorney, I'm sure. However, did you know that you can just hire your attorney to do part of your case? That's why I call it unbundled. We take different parts of the case and pull it out. You can hire an attorney to assist you with just the financial part of your case, to assist you in getting your own financial affairs in order, or to review the financial information you receive from the other side to make sure that nothing's missing. Well, let's say that you feel like something is missing. You know what? I'm pretty sure that my ex is hiding something. This person can help you find what's called a forensic accountant. There are people out there who specialize in tracking down money that has gone into a black hole. Poof, it disappeared. Okay? This is somebody that you want to talk to because it's not something you should try to do on your own. Okay? I know it's not necessarily what you wanted to hear. If you've got significant assets on the table, this is the time to consult with a legal professional. And if all you want to do is just talk with someone about this part of your case, consider seeking someone who uses unbundled services. It's a perfect way to make sure that you dot your I's, cross your T's, and get everything done. So another thing I want you to think about is there a prenup or a postnuptial agreement? A prenup you're probably familiar with. People sign it before they get married to determine how assets are going to be divided up. A postnuptial agreement is very similar to a prenup. People agree on how things are going to be divided up. It's just signed after you're married. If this agreement exists, first and foremost, hopefully when you sign the thing, you talk to an attorney. Don't sign anything ever without having it reviewed by an attorney. And quick note, if someone tells you you don't need an attorney, you need an attorney. All right? Now, if that document exists, you gotta hit pause. I need you to go talk to a legal professional, have it reviewed, and understand what your rights are. Because we may be talking about property division, but that discussion may already be done. It's in that document, and if it's something that's sealed, properly done, it's not that you can't get out of it. You may decide it's not worth it. I just want you to see if you are locked in. All right? If you have a prenup or postnup, it's time to sit down and talk with a lawyer. All right? Now, what if you're dealing with an ex who's 100% unreasonable? You tried, you're trying to talk about documents, split things up. They're hiding things. They won't speak with you. They're just unreasonable. Look, something I've said probably thousands of times at this point in my career. You can't fix crazy. Can't fix mean. Can't fix stupid. Can't fix a broken heart. Sometimes any of those states of being will make somebody highly unreasonable and impossible to deal with. If that's happening, then what you need to do is not get sucked into the drama. Keep you cool, keep focused on the future, and get yourself to the courthouse as quick as you can. That's a time to get in front of the judge, because you cannot solve the problem. You're going to have a judge decide what's going on. That's what the judge is there for. And a lot of times, if someone's being unreasonable, the judge will impress upon them that they're being unreasonable. and you will end up getting the result that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to say, you know what? I can't deal with you. You obviously don't want to deal with me. We're not going to continue to have this discussion. Let's just go on ahead and get to court and get this thing resolved. Or the court may send you to a mediator, and the mediator may still tell you, hey, look, they won't help you. We're going to go back to court. Okay? Now, we talked about how these things are case specific. We do what's called a case diagnostic, which is when we sit down with you, we try to understand what's your physical situation, also what's the asset situation. Once I know that, it's a lot easier for me to give you your specific options. A lot like a diagnostic on your car. You get to understand, here's what's wrong with this, or here's what I can expect, what it might cost me if I go to a mechanic. That's what we do with your case. I would recommend that you consider doing that, if not with us, with someone, so that you have some idea of what you're getting into. Try and look into the future a little bit now that you have gathered all your assets and gathered all your documentation, to have some idea of what you're looking to get, whether that's maintenance or child support or just dividing up assets or dividing up debts. What's going to be happening for you, okay? Once again, this is a great time to sit down and see if someone will chat with you, either in a free consultation or perhaps with unbundled services. I highly recommend that you consider doing that. This is the area where it's time to get a professional on your side. I hope that you found some of this helpful, and I look forward to talking with you in the next module, where we'll discuss what to do if we're talking about your business and some odds and ends, like, hey, what about matrimonial stuff like maintenance or child support stuff, or what do I do if I have some other questions. Let me see what I can answer for you in the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.